So my name is Catherine Dilworth, and I'm a visual artist working through young audiences of Maryland. And I just wanted to share with you one of the things that I do in my residency when I go in to teach felting to middle schoolers who are dealing often with somewhat difficult subject matters in some of their English curriculum. They study injustice in some of the schools in Maryland, and they touch on some really difficult subjects like the Holocaust, slavery, Rwanda, various topics of social injustice. And so what we started doing was making quilts where each child took one visual representation of this huge subject and tried to make a felted piece that represented something about what happened. And I found that by breaking the subject down into one little snapshot, and then by working in a medium that was not as graphic or as difficult to look at as, say, a newspaper photograph or newsreels, that they were able in many cases to get closer to the subject than they were if we just talked about it in all its graphic detail. And the book that I like to use and that you might want to use in your classrooms, I got actually at an exhibit at the Visionary Art Museum in Baltimore. This is a woman who had made quilts of her experience in the Holocaust. And they're very colorful. When you see them from a distance, they're quite large, and when you would see them on a wall, you don't really know what you're walking up to see because they look like they're playful and colorful, but then you take a look at them more carefully and you read all the stitching at the bottom and you can really see what she's trying to communicate. And I think the children had a really different reaction to seeing that versus for instance, they took a field trip to the Holocaust Museum and looked at footage from the end of the war, and they were able to process some of the things that they saw in the quilts, I think, much more easily than they could the actual news footage from the actual event. So that is my tip.